And we are back with another Protect. This is the Protect Godson. And this is a limited edition because it is in bronze. What? Yeah, let's just zoom right in. As always, I do have a Protect playlist. I will link down below and up at the corner at the end. But this one is all bronze and has a mother of pearl inlay on the fire/lock button. Now, I like bronze better than I like copper, but there's still a bit of a scent, if you will, to bronze. And so it's not really my favorite. It's also heavier than the normal aluminum scaled Godsons that are generally out there, their standard offerings. So here's the part number of this particular one if you are interested. And let's just run through the specs really quick, and then we'll talk about my thoughts on it. 4 3/8, 7.5 inches overall, 3.1 inch blade with a 3-inch cutting edge. It's a little thick behind the edge at 0.028. Normally, they're a little bit thinner, especially with a blade thickness of 0.107. CPM 154, which is pretty standard for a lot of Protects. Weight, overall thickness is 0.480, and it weighs in at 5.6 ounces. So it is substantial in its weight, and it's a little substantial in its price. List price is like $500. I saw it on Blade HQ for $400. It's not on the Wild About Sporting Goods site just yet, but this was loaned in from Gil, and you can save 10% there. So even if he's got it at the Blade HQ price of $400, you can save $40 if my math is correct. It's that new math, man. It screws me up. So you get a solid lockup, a freaking rocket of a deployment that you should hold on to, or else it could be flying out of your hand. Nice little swedge on top, just for some visual detail. This is really kind of dagger style. This is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, if you will. These are made here in the United States. So there is that. I know that's important to a lot of folks, and we won't get into that in this video because I have a lot of overseas made knives and I have a lot of American knives too. But my thoughts and views on that differ from a lot of people's. So I will just keep that to myself for this video. So it is, the clip is not bronze, but it is anodized bronze or colored bronze. I think it's a titanium clip. All in all, it's a cool knife. This particular model is just not really my style, but it's cool. So let me know your thoughts about that. Let's do a couple of quick size comparisons. And yeah, let's do some size comparisons. Here's the Sharpie. Here is the D-cell battery, which weighs in at 5 ounces. So your knife is just slightly heavier than a D-cell to give you some reference. Here's a Spyderco Delica and the Kubi KB237. All in all, this Protects in general, I love. They have a lot of variety. There's a lot of different shapes, a lot of different styles, a lot of different models. That's a great thing. They're made in the United States, which is a great thing. Generally, their pricing is on par. Like, it's $400. I'm not saying that that is too expensive for this knife. There's a lot of bronze here. Bronze is more expensive than their typical offering of aluminum. Now, they have, even as we can see inside here, let's see if we can see. Let me zoom in just a hair. See if that shows a little more clearly. So there is some big milled out weight saving pockets which is super cool, or else this thing would be like 10 ounces. So maybe not 10, but so all in all, I think ProTech is an awesome company. Their spring is by far one of the best in the business, as far as flying open and really getting there. If you're into automatic knives. If you're not into automatic knives, ProTech probably is not the company really for you. The bulk of their offerings are automatics. They do have some flipper button locks. The Malibu comes to mind. So there are some out there, but for the most part, they do automatics. That's their thing, really. So if you hate automatics, and they're not really my favorite thing, they're kind of cool, but in real world, I think I can deploy just as fast-ish. I don't know. But I don't need not even a one-handed knife. This actually kind of becomes a two-handed knife. While you can close it one-handed, that's not the safest way to do it because that can slip out of your hand, open up again. Whereas a flipper frame lock is pretty much always a single-hander. You can close it this way, no problem, because there is no spring that you're fighting against, where here you are fighting against that spring, and it becomes a little more awkward that way. So an automatic knife to me, unless it's an out to the front, is a two-handed knife, realistically. You could use your leg and you can, put it up against your leg and close it like that, and then put it into your pocket. Sure, of course, whatever. Convenience factor, I don't know, just give me a flipper or a thumb stud knife, like a normal knife, and I'll call it good. But that's just me. Let me know your thoughts down below, and please go check out the ProTech playlist over here for a bunch of different options.